When I first met my wife's father, he looked me up and down with a smirk that said I didn't meet his expectations. I was dressed simply that day. No suit, no tie, just jeans and a shirt. My wife, Emily, had invited me to her parents' house for dinner, and I wanted to make a good impression. But the moment her father, Mr. Green, learned that I worked in law, his expression changed from curious to dismissive. "So," he said as he sliced his steak, "you're a lawyer? Or just one of those office assistants who bring coffee?" The comment stung, but I kept my composure and smiled politely. "I handle management," I replied. "Ah," he chuckled, "so not even a lawyer. Maybe someday you'll get a real job." Everyone at the table laughed awkwardly, except Emily, who frowned. I didn't respond. I'd faced arrogance before, just not from family. Mr. Green had worked as a mid-level manager at a corporate law firm for over 25 years. He was proud of his job, his authority, and his supposed understanding of the legal world. To him, hierarchy mattered more than character. I didn't feel the need to defend myself, especially not at dinner. Emily squeezed my hand under the table, silently apologizing for her father's behavior. After that evening, Mr. Green made little effort to know me. Every family gathering came with snide remarks. "Still working at that place?" he'd ask with fake concern. "You know, there's always room for people who want to move up, but you've got to start with something real first." I smiled through it all, never revealing the truth, that I wasn't just part of a law firm. I was its CEO. The firm, a national legal group named Dawson, Trent & Company, had multiple branches across the country. Mr. Green worked at one of the smaller offices, reporting to a regional director, who then reported to a senior partner. I was above them all. But I preferred to stay humble and never brag about titles. My success didn't need to be shouted across dinner tables. Emily once told me, "You're too patient with him." I laughed it off. "Let him think what he wants," I said. "Truth reveals itself in time." She smiled and let it go. I didn't expect that time to come so soon. Months later, the firm decided to hold a nationwide leadership meeting in our city. All department heads and managers were invited. Mr. Green, being one of them, received an invitation from headquarters. He didn't know I was the one who signed it. Emily knew but kept it quiet, almost excited to see how things would unfold. The meeting day arrived at the downtown headquarters. Mr. Green came dressed sharply in his best suit, ready to impress the top executives. He spotted me in the hallway, talking with some partners, and raised an eyebrow. "Oh, you're here too," he said, almost surprised. "Delivering files or helping with the setup?" I smiled. "Something like that," I replied. When the meeting began, he took a seat among the managers, not noticing my nameplate on the stage. When the regional director announced, "Now, please welcome our CEO, Mr. Daniel Carter," I walked up to the podium. The entire room applauded, except one stunned man in the middle row who suddenly looked pale. Mr. Green's eyes widened as he realized what he was seeing. The guy who needed a real job was now addressing hundreds of employees, including his own supervisors. I glanced toward him for a brief moment and continued my speech as if nothing had happened. I spoke about leadership, respect, and the value of humility in a professional world. Each word seemed to weigh heavier on him. After the meeting, as people came up to shake my hand, I noticed him standing awkwardly near the back, avoiding eye contact. Eventually, he approached me, his voice shaky. "Daniel, I didn't know." I smiled gently. "That's all right, Mr. Green. You couldn't have." He looked embarrassed, his confidence gone. "You must think I'm a fool," he murmured. "Not at all," I said. "We all learn about people in unexpected ways." From that day on, Mr. Green's attitude changed completely. He treated me with respect, almost too much of it. He even told Emily how proud he was to have me in the family. But I didn't hold any grudge. I never wanted revenge, only understanding. One evening, he came to me privately and said, "You taught me something important, Daniel. Titles don't define worth. I judged you without knowing who you were." I appreciated his honesty and replied, "It's never too late to see people for who they truly are." Since then, family dinners became peaceful, full of genuine conversation and laughter. Mr. Green even introduced me to his colleagues as the best man I've ever underestimated. I could have reminded him of his old words, get a real job, but I didn't. Life had already given him the best lesson there was. Never judge a man until you know his story.